Why are strong lease terms critical for proving lease violations? Imagine trying to prove someone broke a rule without clear proof. That's what happens when lease agreements are vague or incomplete. Strong lease terms are essential because they set clear rules for everyone involved. They spell out what tenants can and cannot do, like how much rent is due, when it's due, and what happens if it isn't paid on time. They also specify rules about property use, noise limits, pet policies, and maintenance responsibilities. When these details are written down precisely, landlords have a solid foundation to show a tenant broke a rule. Without clear language, it's hard to prove a violation, and that weakens the landlord's case if legal action is needed. A well-drafted lease agreement acts like a rule book. It clearly states the rent amount, which might be, for example, $1,000 a month, due on the first day of each month. It also includes late fee policies, such as a $25 fee if rent is paid after the 5th of the month. It might specify that tenants cannot keep more than 2 pets, and any damages caused by pets are their responsibility. When a tenant breaches these rules, landlords can point to the exact clause in the lease. This makes enforcement straightforward and reduces disputes. From a property management point of view, strong lease terms protect the investment. If a tenant damages the property, the lease can specify that the tenant is responsible for repairs. If rent is late, the lease outlines the late fee and the process for collection. These details help landlords enforce rules consistently and fairly. They also provide documentation if eviction becomes necessary. For example, if a tenant refuses to pay rent, the landlord can show the lease clause about late payments and fees. This documentation is key to legal proceedings. Another important aspect is defining the lease duration and responsible parties. For example, a lease might be for 12 months, starting on January 1st and ending on December 31st. If multiple tenants share the unit, the lease clarifies who is responsible for what. This avoids confusion about obligations and rights. When lease terms are detailed and specific, landlords can easily demonstrate violations. They can show that a tenant failed to pay rent on time or broke rules about property use by referencing the exact clauses. In property management, clear lease terms also help communicate expectations upfront. Tenants know what is expected of them, and landlords have a straightforward way to address violations. This reduces misunderstandings and makes enforcement smoother. If a tenant is violating the lease, the landlord can issue a notice citing the specific clause that was broken. This makes legal actions, like eviction, more straightforward because there is concrete evidence of the breach. Without strong lease terms, proving violations becomes difficult. Vague agreements leave room for disagreements and legal challenges. Clear, detailed, and legally sound lease agreements are a key part of effective landlord operations. They help protect the property, ensure compliance, and support legal processes if needed.